Right, you're back with After Dark. I'm Nic Pegg. Thanks for staying with us or joining us if you've just joined us. Right now on the line is Clotilde Romano. She has a fabulous La Dolce Vita cooking school out at Sumner. Good afternoon, good evening to you, Clotilde.
Good evening, Nicholas. How are you? We are okay. Thank you.
I'm very good, thank you. Um, let's talk a little bit about where you come from first.
Okay, my name is Clotilde, but most of the people call me Tilde. This is my name. It's very easy to pronounce. And I come from Naples, which is the biggest city in the south of Italy. So there is Rome, the capital. Naples is about 2 hours in the south of Rome, and is the biggest city in the south of Italy. Does 4.5 million people. So all the people living in New Zealand, they live in the city where I was born.
You're in the Mediterranean there. It's lovely and warm for most of the year.
Yes.
How do you find living in Christchurch?
Oh, it's okay. Now it's 10 years I'm living here. But when I arrived here 10 years ago, was quite depressing for me because, yes, I grew up in a place where the summer is all about, everything 35, 40 degree. At the moment, it's very, very hot in Italy. My mom says they struggle to stay, alive because it's very, very hot. It's a very hot summer. But, after 10 years, I quite enjoy now don't be in that heat like July and August. I always say to my friends, don't go there because it's too hot. The best time to visit Italy is around maybe beginning of the spring. I will say June, or maybe beginning of September. Yes.
What I'm hoping to do this evening is to look at a very basic, well, and important element of your cuisine. Let's look at making a really good pizza and start with how do you make a good pizza dough?
Okay, you're talking with the right person because do you know that the modern pizza was originally invented in Naples? So now the pizza is famous all around the world. But yes, so the pizza, I will say Italian, I will say Napolitan pizza is different from actually even Italian pizza. The Napolitan pizza is it's very simple to do and does very small, not many ingredients together. For first of all, to do a very good pizza dough, you want the recipe? Do
Yes,
you want?
yes. Let's have the recipe and the method, please, so that people
Okay.
understand what to
So
do.
I will say to start a pizza, to make about four good sized pizza, you can do half a liter of water. And sometimes people say it's room, like body temperature. No, you can use just cold water and just a half teaspoon, a very little amount of fresh yeast. I use fresh yeast, which you can find in any supermarket like New World, come down. You go where they do the bakery and you can ask to buy fresh yeast. And 850 gram of flour, and you need high grade flour. In Italy, we use farina doppio zero, which is a special flour. It's the same flour you use to make pasta, bread. And one full teaspoon of extra virgin olive oil I use, and one full teaspoon of sea salt. So you need to mix all these ingredients together, and you need in a large bowl, stir together. And actually I use my own the end, in a circular motion. I do the water, the yeast, the salt, and gradually, just slowly, I add the flour, and I continue to stirring until the dough forms. After that, you need to bring all these in a nice clean surface, and you need with the rest of the other flours, you need just start to knead the dough using the heel of your hand, and you need to knead about 10-15 minutes, depends how much people put this effort, and you need to form this dough and stop when you see the dough is forming and is smooth and elastic. And it's very important to is how to grow, how to keep aside and make this to rise. So I leave to rise 2 times. The first time I leave for about 3 hours. And after that, I take all the big piece of dough and I cut in a small, in every small pieces for to make after the pizza. And it's about 250 grams each piece. And put back in this container. So it's very important you put in a container with the lid on, so the piece of dough, doesn't dry, and leave it to sides for about another 3 hours. This is how long it take at minimum to have a very good pizza dough. Because sometimes people, they make the pizza and they think they can make growing very fast. This is not good. It's not natural. And when you cook a pizza, maybe on the first time you think, oh, you look what I've done. It's growing so much. And maybe they're using even lots yeast. This is not good. Then, so the best to have a very good result, you need leave growing for at least 6-8 hours. My brother in Italy leave to grow overnight, and in the morning it's ready. So very, very natural.
So, very thorough method there, Clotilde. Thank you very much for telling us how to do the base. Now,
yes.
Now your pasta, not your pasta, sorry, your pizza sauce, the tomato, is that a passata or is it something different? What do you do?
Yeah, so for the margherita, the margherita is the simple pizza. You use Italian Roman tomatoes and it's the passata. So in the summertime, I used to do my own passata. So I use fresh tomatoes and I do the passata, but I can understand in New Zealand it's not like Italy, it's difficult. So you can buy, even in the summertime, if you don't have this big amount of tomatoes, you can buy Italian tin tomatoes, which they are okay. They normally don't contain any sugar, and they're just pure tomatoes. Or you can actually make with one of these moulin, buy normal diced tomato sauce and just put in a mixer and do your own passata. And this is how you make mostly of the Italian pizza. They have as a base just tomatoes. We have a difference between pizza rossa and pizza bianca. So red pizza is normally as the base of tomatoes, and pizza bianca doesn't have any base of tomato. It's made only white. This is why we call it white. And normally, if you, for example, have the pizza with mushrooms and ham, doesn't have any tomatoes. So comes only with mozzarella, some Italian ham and some mushrooms, which if they are porcini mushrooms is the best. And we have another pizza, which is the normal, like I told you, the margherita, and is made only with tomatoes and mozzarella and some extra virgin olive oil. Most of the pizza, they all have on the end, you want to add some extra virgin olive oil on top. And another famous pizza, I will say, is actually pizza Ravello. Sometimes in Italy, they do when they have this big, when you grow your own courgette, you have the flower of courgette, so you can do this pizza with zucchine, flower of courgette, and some smoked mozzarella, which we call provola. And it's very, very yummy.
Excuse me. I noticed while you were describing those pizzas, they seem to be a base plus no more than 3 ingredients. Is that to avoid confusion of flavour?
Yes, we keep the pizza simple. We don't put, for us, pizza is more important the base, Of course, the topping is important, but you don't want to mix too many toppings all together. I don't know what you taste. This is what the Italian likes to do. Don't mix too much and just leave simple so you can taste actually what you are eating. Otherwise, if you mix too much, doesn't give you, the real taste of the flavor of what you are eating. And in most of this pizza, we use beautiful basil leaves.
Yeah, we'll just bring a picture up, actually, the one we showed earlier. It clearly illustrates the base. It hasn't been cooked yet. The tomato sauce base is there. There are lumps of mozzarella, I imagine, and nice big leaves of basil.
Yes, plenty of basil. This make, yes. And and another important thing is how to you cook the pizza actually, because if you cook the pizza in a real wood pizza, and this make the difference, because when you cook the pizza, as if you cook the pizza very quickly, this give you a great result. We call when we cook a pizza in a real wood pizza, which I have one in my backyard, cooking when the oven is very very hot, take about 3-4 hours to make your oven on the right temperature. So you put the pizza on the base of the oven and take 1.5 minutes to cook. This make a big, enormous difference, because the pizza will be still lovely and soft inside and have this crusty all outside, and this give you the taste of the real pizza. We call it the 90 magic second to cook a real Napolitan pizza.
Well, I can tell you I'm very much looking forward to trying one. Now, it's been a lovely recipe this evening, and we'd like to invite you to teach us more about Italian cooking over the coming weeks. Now, we've got a lovely photo here of you with your cooking class, and we'll just bring that up. And we've got a bunch of, it's not all women, there's a couple of men in there as well, so maybe 3 of them, and about 13 women with you, and they're all looking very pleased with the dish they've created. Just tell us how often you do the cooking classes out at Sumner.
Yes, I do a couple of times a week, and yes, I do private class. So people join on my Facebook page, where I advertise in my class, and people book and they come here, and it's a different way to meet other people and have a social life and have fun. Just different, have fun, sit around and talk about just in a completely relaxed, and we cook and we test what actually we prepare. Yes, it's a very fun 2 hours. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Clotilde. Hopefully we'll speak to you next week with another recipe here on After That. Good night.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Good night. Buonanotte.
Buonanotte.